Hello and welcome to Japan Lyric Room. In this program, we explore the lyrics of Japanese songs, delivering clear explanations of their meanings and unique cultural backgrounds. Please note that while the voices and illustrations in this video are AI-generated, the project itself is run by two Japanese creators living in Japan. The script is carefully researched and written by us to provide original explanations. So, imagine standing on a custom-built, star-shaped stage, floating entirely on its own in the middle of the Florida Ocean.
Okay, that already sounds pretty intense.
Right. And you are wearing an outfit that essentially consists of just black vinyl tape wrapped around your torso and legs.
Wait, just tape?
Yeah, pretty much. And there are hurricane-force winds from a low-flying helicopter threatening to blow you directly into the waves. The stage is flooding, and massive Hollywood-style explosions are just going off in the water around you.
That is insane. It sounds like an action movie.
I know, but it wasn't a movie. It was actually a music video.
Yeah.
Today, we are exploring the lyrics of T.M.Revolution's 1998 smash hit summer pop anthem, Hot Limit.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that imagery really sets the tone for what we're dealing with today. I mean, it is difficult to overstate just how much of a cultural earthquake this song was when it debuted.
Oh, totally.
This was his 8th single, and it was strategically designed to tie in with a massive national commercial campaign for a popular carbonated beverage in Japan.
Right, the soda commercial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't just enter the music charts. It completely bypassed everything else, debuted at #1, and eventually shifted over 1 million copies. This wasn't merely a popular song playing on the radio. It was a cultural event that effectively dictated the atmosphere of the entire Japanese summer in 1998.
And a huge part of that atmosphere was the sheer visual spectacle, you know? You just cannot separate the visuals from the music. When you look back at how they filmed this, it's a perfect time capsule of a massive bubble-era entertainment budget being pushed to the absolute edge of sanity.
The edge of sanity is a good way to put it.
Because, we are talking about 1998. Drones were not an option. If a director wanted dynamic, sweeping aerial shots over the ocean, they had to hire a real helicopter and have it circle the artist at incredibly close range.
And the logistics of that shoot were notoriously chaotic.
I can only imagine.
The sheer wind pressure generated by the helicopter's rotors, combining with the natural ocean currents, completely flooded that star-shaped stage. It became slick, unstable, and genuinely dangerous.
Oh, wow.
But the artist didn't stop. He pushed through this intense, high-energy dance routine while actively fighting to keep his balance. At one point, the wind pressure from the helicopter actually snapped a piece of the stage right off into the water.
And he never broke character, but the part that always gets me is the special effects.
The explosions.
Yes. They brought in a Hollywood pyrotechnics team to create these towering explosions in the water behind him. And the shockwaves from those blasts were so intense that, when you watch the footage captured by the high-speed cameras, you can actually see real fish jumping out of the ocean in a panic in the background.
That is just glorious, unapologetic excess. It is the definition of spectacle.
Definitely.
But what makes this song truly fascinating isn't just its 1998 dominance, it's longevity. Fast forward 28 years to July 2026.
Oh, it's a revival.
Yeah. This song experiences an explosive revival on the incredibly popular YouTube channel, The First Take, a channel known for having artists perform in a single, unedited take.
Right.
So at 55 years old, the singer steps up to the microphone. He is showcasing this incredibly disciplined bodybuilder physique, wearing a renewed, modern version of that legendary black ribbon outfit.
He even hits competitive bodybuilding poses before he starts singing.
He really does, and it's amazing.
And the internet completely lost its collective mind over that. The video hit a record-breaking 10 million views in just 3 days. But, the build-up to that moment was a masterclass in modern social media strategy.
It really was. The execution of that teaser was brilliant.
It was so funny. The day before the video dropped, he posted a teaser image on his X account, formerly Twitter. And the picture he posted showed him from the neck down, clearly wearing the unmistakable, iconic black tape Hot Limit outfit.
Anyone with eyes knew exactly what song he was about to sing.
Exactly. But his caption read, "Even as the person involved, I absolutely cannot reveal what I sang until it's published."
That is great.
That feigned ignorance, that total commitment to the bit, generated 120 million impressions online. And it gets better because after the video came out, some viewers simply refused to believe that a 55-year-old dancing in that outfit could still sing with that much raw power and perfect pitch.
The lip sync accusations.
Yep, they started accusing him of lip syncing.
And well, his response to that criticism is very telling of his character. Instead of getting defensive or ignoring it, he publicly invited the skeptics to his own music festival.
I loved.
He told them to come verify it in person, hear him sing live, and expose him on the internet if they thought he was faking it. It was a perfect display of the entertainer's spirit. He understands that the energy of the song is about breaking boundaries and having fun.
So how does a song maintain that level of unbridled, rule-breaking freedom for almost 3 decades? We need to look closely at the language design that makes this anthem so timeless. Let's start by unpacking the opening lines that set off this entire summer explosion.
Right, and here is the exact meaning of that line. Cultural nuance, shouted out loud. Passionate midsummer has arrived, where you, like a captivating mermaid showcasing dazzling bare legs under the sun, intensely stimulate my heart.
Okay, wait, I need to stop you right there for a second. I have listened to this song so many times, and I always just assumed the opening yo-say was just a standard 90s hip-hop English call-out, like, yo, say something. Are you telling me that's actually Japanese?
I am. It sounds perfectly like an English street-style shout, but phonetically, it mimics the Japanese word for fairy, which is yosei.
Means fairy. That is an unbelievable auditory optical illusion.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, you're looking right at a street-style shout, but if you tilt your ears just a little bit, a magical fairy pops out.
It is an incredibly precise and mischievous piece of linguistic design by the lyricist. He's hiding a magical creature right inside a hip-hop chant. And that sense of magic transitions directly into the visual of the namaashi, or bare legs.
We're right, the bare legs.
Yeah, because in the late 90s in Japan, the miniskirt was a massive cultural trend. Nami Omuro, a massive pop star at the time, really popularized this look.
Right, because before that, in the 80s, fashion was a bit more conservative, wasn't it?
Exactly. So namaashi wasn't just a physical description of legs without stockings. It was a powerful symbol. It represented a healthy, radiant eroticism, and, more importantly, a liberation from societal suppression.
Wow, so they were really claiming their bodies.
Yes, young women were finally claiming their bodies in their bold street fashion. The protagonist here is comparing this captivating, liberated woman at the water's edge to a mythical mermaid, instantly elevating the excitement of summer to a dramatic peak.
That visual liberation flows so beautifully into the physical confidence we see in the very next line.
And here is the meaning behind that. Cultural nuance. If you boldly highlight your alluring curves and let the passion in our hearts ripen richly, our special love will be utterly refreshing and amazing.
There is a very specific, bold instruction happening in the Japanese here right now.
Yes, there's a colloquial phrase used here, which is "dasuko dashite." It means to fearlessly show off the parts of you that should be shown. It almost sounds percussive when you say it.
It is. It's an active, unapologetic embrace of one's glamorous curves. And they pair that with the phrase tawawa ni nattara, which usually describes fruit getting heavy and ripe on a branch.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it takes the completion of this confident, glamorous body and beautifully compares it to ripe, heavy summer fruit.
It's a very catchy, slightly sexy metaphor, honestly, and it all leads to the feeling of being refreshed.
Yes, the phrase for that is yare sokai. Sokai means refreshing, but the addition of yare gives it the cadence of a traditional Japanese summer festival chant. And linguistically, it sets up a perfect rhyme for a lyric that comes a bit later, which is koi ga dekisokai. I love how bouncy that feels to say. But, this raises a really fun chicken or egg question for you, the listener.
Oh, what at that?
Well, because this song was tied to a commercial for a carbonated drink, you have to wonder, did the refreshing sokai lyric inspire the beverage company to use the song? Or did the physical, bubbly sensation of drinking soda inspire the lyricist to create this brilliant double meaning?
It is brilliant corporate synergy either way, I think. But what makes this song a masterpiece is that right after this high-energy, confident peak, the song doesn't just stay in the clouds. It suddenly grounds itself in a very relatable physical reality. The next lyric says,
and the meaning reads cultural nuance. Even if it weren't you in this midsummer heat, anyone would be utterly exhausted and worn out.
If you've ever experienced a summer in a Japanese concrete jungle like Tokyo, you know it is intensely hot and humid. It completely drains your life force. There's a specific well-known word for this severe physical exhaustion, which is natsubate.
Natsubate. I can almost feel the heavy humidity just saying it.
The lyric uses the word batigimi, which combines that severe summer exhaustion with a casual suffix meaning a tendency to be in that state.
Ah, okay.
So the protagonist is essentially shrugging and saying, look, even if it weren't you, anyone would be completely drained in this brutal heat.
I just love the rhythmic genius of this line. The lyricist rhymes kimi, which means you, with gimi, that tendency for exhaustion. It almost feels like a heartbeat physically slowing down in the oppressive heat before the track speeds back up.
That's a great way to put it. And this physical exhaustion is really a metaphor. It mirrors an emotional exhaustion. The youth of that era were incredibly tired of the mundane, boring routines of everyday city life, and they vehemently rejected it.
Which sets up my favorite complaint in the entire song. The lyric goes,
Let's unpack the meaning here. Cultural nuance. I have no desire to cool off using lame, freezing jokes that catch me off guard whenever I let my guard down.
now, okay, I have to ask about this cultural concept, because if you drop your guard, Tsukio Misatara, you leave yourself vulnerable to hearing things you don't want to hear.
Exactly. In Japanese, accidentally overhearing something is phrased as mimi ne hairu. Literally, it enters the ear.
Mimi ni haru, just catching unwanted, boring information on the breeze.
Right, and what they catch is a sabui gag. Sabui is a slang variation of the word samui, which means cold.
Oh, I think I see where this is going.
Yeah, in Japanese culture, if someone tells a joke so terrible and uninteresting that makes everyone uncomfortable, it literally creates a freezing atmosphere in the room.
I see the irony now. It is sweltering hot outside. They are suffering from summer exhaustion, but the protagonist absolutely refuses to cool off by listening to someone's lame, chilling jokes.
It is an explicit rejection of boring, artificial communication.
And musical production backing this lyric is spectacular. You have Daisuke Asakura laying down this hyper-fast, sophisticated, cutting-edge digital synth-pop beat, and it's carrying a vocal line that is complaining about something as incredibly mundane and analog as a bad joke.
Right.
It perfectly captures that youthful desire to just break out of a stagnant, boring environment.
That desire to reject the fake seamlessly evolves into a deep craving for complete, unapologetic honesty. We see this in the next phrase.
Let's read the translation. Cultural nuance. I want to lay everything on the line, be completely honest with my feelings, and become genuine. With you and me together, everything will be completely fine.
This is the moment where the psychological and physical distance between the protagonist and their love interest rapidly shrinks. The phrase dasu mono, things to put out, is a classic example of Akio Inoue's layered writing.
How so?
Well, on the surface, it means to lay your honest feelings bare.
But because of the blistering summer heat and, the romantic context we've been building, there is a slightly obscured, sexy nuance of literally taking off physical layers of clothing, right?
Precisely. It's an elegant way of wrapping a physical desire to strip away heavy summer clothes inside a vulnerable, emotional confession. And the use of the positive English phrase, "it's all right," at the end of the line, pushes this sense of total liberation forward.
I think of it like peeling the layers of an onion. The song is encouraging you to strip away everything, the physical layers of heavy clothes, but also the emotional walls you build up to protect yourself from society to finally reach that raw, genuine core underneath.
That's a beautiful analogy. And speaking of breaking down walls, the next line literally breaks the fourth wall of the entire music industry.
Yeah.
It is widely considered the most humorous highlight of the entire song. It goes,
This translation is so fun. Cultural nuance. Even if we get so swept up in midsummer romance that we neglect our everyday duties, even Daisuke gives us his 100% approval.
We have two interesting Japanese phrases setting the scene here. Koi ni kamakete, meaning to be so swept up in romance that you lose focus, and orusu ni naru, a metaphor for abandoning your post or neglecting your duties.
But I have to stop you. Daisuke, as in Daisuke Asakura, the actual composer and producer of the Real World song.
The very same. Now, you have to understand the hierarchy of the Japanese music industry in the 90s. Producers like Asakura were viewed as absolute authorities, almost godlike figures who controlled everything.
So having the song's strict creator mentioned by name in the lyrics, stepping in to grant the fictional characters permission to slack off from their jobs and just enjoy their summer romance, is a massive subversion.
It is a brilliant meta lyric. It shows an incredible amount of trust and playfulness between the creators and the listener, basically telling the youth, it's okay to rebel a little, the boss says so.
And what's wild is how this lyric adapts to the times. In that viral 2026 The First Take performance we talked about earlier, Nishikawa actually changed the lyric from Daisuke teki ni mo to Nippan teki ni mo, meaning Japan approved.
He expanded the approval from the producer of the song to the entire country.
Doesn't that imply that this song isn't just a fixed piece of media on a plastic CD from 1998? It feels like a living organism. It evolves and adapts to give a sense of joyous approval to entirely different generations.
It truly is alive.
Yeah.
And that living, breathing energy reaches its absolute peak in the song's grand finale. The final phrase is,
Here is the meaning. Cultural nuance. Won't you join me in making genuine love so intensely that even the deep places of our bodies have no time to dry?
This final chorus holds a deeply passionate, sensual underlying meaning. It vividly describes two lovers being driven entirely by the heat and liberation of summer. And the grand finale of the wordplay is hidden in the text itself. When you look at the lyric card, the kanji for treasure, takaramono, is printed on the page. But he intentionally sings it as honmono, which means genuine.
So the listener understands that this treasure he is singing about is genuine love. I marvel at the visual lyric magic here, because reading Japanese lyrics is often a completely different experience from just hearing them.
Exactly. Orally, the phrase ends with shimasenka, which everyone instantly recognizes as the standard invitation. Shall we?
But when you look at how it is written on the page, it isn't written using the standard characters for that question. It is written as senka. Senka translates to vivid flower. The kanji for sen means vivid, alive, fresh, and importantly, undried. So when you connect this to the lyric about having no time to dry, the passion literally turns the lovers into vivid, fresh summer flowers. It's an incredibly sexy, passionate message wrapped flawlessly in bright, poetic pop.
If we synthesize this entire journey, T.M.Revolution's Hot Limit isn't just a hit song. It operates as an energy crystal that plants an eternal summer directly into the Japanese spirit. It shatters the boredom of daily life through sheer, unapologetic self-liberation.
It really is a masterpiece of pop energy. The fact that a 55-year-old can step up to a mic in 2026 and unleash this much joy proves that we always have the freedom to bare our hearts and get hyped no matter our age. So I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question to mull over. What is your personal, eternal summer anthem, the song that instantly makes you feel that level of unbridled, rule-breaking freedom?
I think we all have that one song that just sets us free.
Thank you so much for listening. We feature various Japanese songs and provide detailed explanations on our website. Please check the link in the description to explore more. If you enjoyed this program, please subscribe to our channel and let us know your thoughts or song requests in the comments. See you next time. This was Japan Lyric Room.